Hello and welcome back to CSGB Racing. We are here for the next instalment of the season. Of course, round 8, the sprint race this time in Hungary. If you have not seen the feature race from yesterday, I do highly recommend that you go do that. It was a banger of a race, 16 drivers taking to the track, of course. Tonight it looks like we're going to have 14 drivers. It's not too bad. Last night's race winner, I believe, is going to be here. Here's Netsky, championship leader also. Absolutely running away with it this year. He didn't finish first on track, however. That opportunity, or that goal, went to Vapor Trench, I do believe, in the Renault. However, on penalties, got pegged back to P4. As the two Mercedes cars, despite finishing 3rd and 4th on the road, did end up finishing 2nd and 3rd. Of course, after penalties were introduced. But we should be in for a very good race tonight. Obviously, as it tends to be, the sprint race is always a lot more hectic. Obviously, the drivers have half the time to do the race, technically. 35 laps last night, I think it's 18 today. Might not be 100% correct, but I think it's 18 laps we're going to take around the Hungary ring tonight. Should be a very interesting race. As it always is, we have a full reversal from last night. So if you won last night, a la Metsky, or Netsky, not Metsky, you're going to be up, down at the back of the grid for tonight. So it tends to be the quicker ones. As it is, we'll start down towards the back. Unless your goal is to just completely sandbag on a Monday night, just to get pole for the sprint race, which I guess could be a strat. Don't think it's been used just yet. We should be getting into the session just about now. Say that the drivers now are readying up, getting ready to head into the session. I said we have got 14 tonight by the looks of things. 2 drivers less than we had last night, but more than likely double the chaos as the quicker guys try their best to get through the field. Loading in now, 10-second timer has commenced. Just bear me 1 second, I'll get the chat up in front of me. Said it is the Hungary ring once again. So they do things feature race last night, or the Monday night for the F1 tier. Then we have the shorter race tonight. Don't believe there's anyone here tonight who we didn't have last night, so that would mean Netsky is at the back, along with the 2 Mercs, and then Vapor Trench. Down at the back, towards the front, I think Festa's going to be up there if he's here. I don't actually know if he is. No, it doesn't look like it from what I can see. Trying to guess by looking at who's here tonight. Trying to remember from yesterday as to who we've got. Evening, Dovey. Hope you're well, mate. Let's see, I believe it's going to be Kazakhs on pole. Don't think he... Actually, no, he didn't have the cleanest of races last night. Couple spins. He did get the fastest lap, however. Don't know if it's going to count, of course, as he finished 13th and the top 12 get points. I do believe he's going to be starting on pole. I think Ogre Trainman's going to be up there as well for the start. Eklund as well is going to be right up there. I don't think he finished yesterday. We'll run you through the grid now. Just get stuff on the screen that will help. Can actually get the tyres up for you as well. So Eklund starts on pole, ahead of Vapor Shea and Vapor James, who both failed to finish last night. TRC James also starting on the medium tyres. So going to try the alternate strategy there in his Williams. Kazakh, who was the last to finish as yesterday, lines up in P4, ahead of Ogre Trainman and his teammate Vapor King. Trixie starts in 7th, Hindle starts in 8th to where he finished last night. So he'll look to continue that progress up the field. Rumsey then starts P9, ahead of CSGB Rainman, who had a fairly good race last night. I think finished P5 in the end. Somewhere up there, sort of. I know it was at least top 6. Outside of the top 10 then Jay Prentice, who had a very good race last night. Vapor Trench starting in 12th, but I think he's hit someone on the formation map. Only one Mercedes tonight, that is the 2nd place finisher from last night, I think. Timmy Wertu next, who is the 2nd of the 2 drivers to start on the medium compound tyre. And then last night's race winner, Netsky in the AlphaTauri at the top of the championship, starts down at the back in 14th. Should be a very good race indeed. Those guys down at the back looked very quick last night. Hence why they're starting down at the back. Look out for possibly another lightning start from Jay Prentice. Of course, started down in 15th last night. I think he was up in like P9 at the end of the 1st or 2nd lap. So you wait now for the lights to come on. Here they come, drivers revving up their engines, 5 lights are on. And we are away, and Hungary can't entirely see what's happening. There we go, then we get a front shot. It is a clean start for Eklund, who does lead down into the first corner. Kazakh's having a little look up on the inside, both Ferraris as well, trying to capitalise on any mistakes from the front pack. So Eklund does lead away cleanly. 2 Williams cars went briefly side to side, but then there's a slight contact with Kazakh and James. And the Williams is round, he's got away there till everyone has passed, he does so as well. And he's retired on track. I'm pretty sure it's the 2nd time this week. We'll ignore that, pretend we didn't see it. Which racing point was it then that had the damage? It was Jay Prentice. I saw the pink end plate just flying off on the track. Try and look, Hindle up into P5, very good start for him, up 3 positions already. Just capitalising on everyone else's mistakes. Apparently Kazakh's is 7 seconds behind Vapor Shea. I don't entirely think that's accurate, looking at where they are on track. It's actually a very good start for Vapor King. Started a little bit down the field, have a look. Now he started down in 6, so he's up 2 positions. His teammate, however, dropping 4. However, it looked like a clean start, obviously apart from that one contact between Kazakhs and James. Just a little bit confused there. I thought Eklund had lost the lead. Turns out it's just the timing part of the screen being completely inaccurate as always. It's like a decent battle down towards the back as Trixie gets up the inside into turn 4, and Jay Prentice is struggling without that front wing, or at least the end plate or end plate of it. Neski already up into P8 though, it's a very good start from P14, already up 6 places. Vapor Trench as well, just missed out on the podium last night, is up 5 places into 7th. Rainman also up 4. Started down in 10th, currently running P6. Hindle as well, as I said, up 3 places. Now I'm liking a lot not symmetry, but the order of the positions gained there. So top two stay as they are. Kazoks is up 1, Vapor King is up 2, Hindle's up 3. CSGB Rain Man was up 4. Can he hold on to P6 as he tries around the outside? Not quite, so that's going to annoy me. Please take the position back, Rain Man. So they come down through turn 2. I think he's going to lose that one. That's a shame for my mild OCD. As one of the Ferraris off into the wall. That is like a Train Man just caught the back of Rain Man, I think that was. As they came down through turn 3, and we have some sort of full course caution. I think it has a safety car. It is as well. Safety car on lap 3 then, still only the one car after the race. Jay Prentice pitted a lap too early, that's a real shame for him. Gone onto the hard compound as well to get to the end of the race, so he doesn't have to stop this time. But if he had waited maybe one lap extra with the damage, he would have had a free pit stop. What does the leaders do then? Eklund does come into the pit lane, followed by Shea and Kazakhs. Vapor King as well into the pit lane. And so there's Hindle, Trench, Netsky, so everyone's coming in. Rain Man is going to get held up behind his teammate as the AlphaTauri's double stack. Just the one AlphaTauri tonight. Oh sorry, Alfa Romeo as Romsey. Anybody not pitting, I would assume Jay Prentice, but I would imagine he will come out down in last. What tyres everybody going onto? Mediums by the looks of things for everyone. Apart from Timmy, who's gone onto the soft tyres, of course starting on those mediums. I think Jay Prentice, as he comes back into the pit lane, so that'll be for another set of mediums, I would assume. Train Man now and just leave the pit lane. Yeah, another set of mediums and onto the racing point. Slight delay, as the game apparently can't double stack despite the big gaps. That's now Jay Prentice. I believe he's used all 3 tyre compounds. So there is no question at all as to whether or not he has obeyed the mandatory tyre rule. Timmy, of course, couldn't use another set of mediums, so he's gone for the soft tyres. They might go to the end. It's going to be very tight indeed. I'd imagine we'll be getting one more lap under the safety car after this one. Just waiting for Jay Prentice to catch up onto the back of the train. I believe we'll be having one more lap as the lights are still on the safety car. So on to lap 4 then of the sprint race. You can see Eklund still leads the way from pole ahead of Vapor Shea. Kazakhs has gained 1 position at James's expense, who is unfortunately now out of this race. Vapor King up 2 positions as well, started down in P6, he now runs in P4 ahead of Hindle. Up into P5. Timmy was running P6 but comes back into the pit lane to put on a set of what I would assume medium tyres, which that will promote Netsky now up into P6, up 8 positions now is your championship leader. And then Romsey in P7, up 2 positions now, started in 9th. Vapor Trench, last night's on track race winner, didn't start, is currently running in 8th. Ahead of Rain Man, who runs 9th. Trixie has lost a couple of positions there at the start, currently runs down in 10th. Train Man, who of course was the cause of the safety car. I'm not saying the incident is his fault, but as it was his car that ended up in the wall of no wing. That of course would go down to, that's the reason the safety car was deployed. Timmy then, who went back into the pit lane, currently up 1 position despite that late stop. Went back into the pits to put on a new set of mediums, and Jay Prentice, I believe, pitted again for medium tyres. Don't know if he had a drive-through or anything. I don't suppose he would have, as he's still behind Timmy. There's now 3 stops for the Racing Point, 1 stop for the top 11. Timmy, of course, has made 2 stops after not being on the preferred strategy when the safety car was deployed. Back up to the leader then. I'd assume we're going green this lap. The RSL lights are off on the safety car. So wait to see when he's going to go. It won't be for a while yet. Safety car, of course, still rounding turn 13. What can he do now then? Safety car is into the pit lane, can't go quite yet, I don't believe, although he has bolted just on the entrance to turn 14. As he comes around the final corner, has gapped Vapor Shea. And apparently now the pit window is open. We'll go back to P2, however, Kazakhs are getting very racy down towards the first corner. We'll have a look around the outside of the first corner. Is left plenty of space there on the outside as they run down towards turn 2. Kazakhs will dive it up the inside. Second time he's been side by side with the Williams through there. Didn't end well last time. It looks clean this time around. Once again, space being left for the 2 drivers to race. So they flick up through turn 4. Vapor King getting onto the back of that battle as well, by the looks of things. Netsky's gotten past Hindle as well further back. Not sure where that was. Possibly down to the first corner. Hindle then drops down to P6. Back up to the battle for P2 then. This seems to be the most interesting one on the circuit. Of course, the battle for the podium. Second and third places. Eklund seems to have just dipped out front. Kind of expected from him. He was looking very good last night. Qualified 5th, I do believe. However, had an incident and ended up retiring from the race. Now the game is making us look back at the Ferrari there as you run down towards the first corner. It's actually Hindle and Vapor Trench getting very close down into turn 1. Hindle defends the inside, however Trench goes all the way around the outside in that Renault and the position seems to be done there. Hindle tries to fight back with the ERS, doesn't seem to be able to manage it. Gets pushed off, he gets off the inside for turn 3, there is contact and Hindle spins. He somehow matrixed the barrier there so he doesn't get any damage. It does drop down to the back of the grid. Back up then at the battle for P2. Vapor Shea still leading Kazakhs, Vapor King behind them, Netsky right on the back of this battle. Hindle retires from the session. And we have another safety car. 2 safety cars in the sprint race. Now I don't know if that was a crash on purpose or if he lost the back coming through turn 4. Of course the rear tyres would have been very hot after the spin and then getting spun round back to the right. Well, I don't believe anyone will pit now. Someone might want to just try it, maybe put softs on, but I don't believe anyone is coming in. Actually, and I say that, Jay Prentice back into the pit lane for a 4th pit stop. What tyres will the Racing Point go on to this time? As actually no, Racing Point has absolutely destroyed his race even more there. There's a brand new set of mediums going on to the car. I don't know why they weren't ready. I did think that may have been a drive-through penalty there. And then suddenly he pulled into his box. Team weren't ready for him. We'll now rejoin the back of the grid. Come back up to the leader then. Eklund does still lead the way. Medium tyres for everyone. 2 cars not currently in the points, that is Timmy and Jay Prentice. 2 drivers that had a very good race last night. So yeah, Timmy, he's not been given the time at the moment to be able to make a move. He probably knows he's a lot of pace, obviously Hungary, it is very difficult to overtake. Obviously with these two safety cars now, he physically cannot overtake. Trainman holds on in the points at the moment. Don't think there were many position changes then. During that brief green flag, of course, Netsky getting past Hindle. And then there was the contact between Trench and Hindle. We'll have one more lap then under the safety car. This, I believe, will be it. I know there is a limit on safety car numbers. I don't know what that limit is, but there is one. Safety car leads them round then for one more lap around the Hungaroring. The circuit, of course, positioned, I believe it's just north of the centre of Budapest. Of course, the capital city of this wonderful country. Don't believe fuel management is going to be an issue till the end. Neither, I don't think, will ERS deployment or management. It should be fairly easy, as they're only going to have half the race to do. 9 lap sprint then to the end of the race. Drivers weaving probably quite frantically trying to get the heat into their tyres. No one's on hard tyres luckily, because those things just don't warm up. And yes, I am speaking from experience there. Medium tyres don't tend to be too bad. Of course, no one on the soft tyres. I don't know if they would do 9 laps, considering drivers were struggling to do 6 last night in a race that was twice as long. You come down to the sector split, safety car lights are out, so we are going to go racing again this time. Blow backwards once again from your race leader. Nailed the restart last time, went just as they were turning into turn 14, which is the final corner. And they're going to get ready to go once again. Now safety car has just entered the pit lane, and Eklund has already gone. As Neil fires out the final corner, Vapor Shea has been left for absolute dead. And he already has a 1.5 second lead as they come across the line. What a restart there from Eklund. Caught Shea napping completely. Kazakhs will now try around the outside of the first corner. Can he get the move done? He has, by the look of things, at the inside line coming down into turn 2. Shea will try it around the outside. His car is there as well, but as they come into turn 3, the Red Bull is ahead. Vapor King then behind, trying to defend from Netsky. As they come up through turn 5, Netsky's going to look to the inside. He's forced the Ferrari to go defensive. He's not around the outside there, surely. They lost the backhand a little bit. We may have seen a very good move indeed there. Jay Prentice has gotten past Timmy, possibly a mistake from the Mercedes. He's dropped back a little bit. Go on board through Netsky then as he comes through the end of the second sector. Now down into turn 12. We'll potentially try and move into the first corner here. Seeing both the Ferraris using quite a long exit to turn 13. Both of them are using the pit entry, which is allowed, because it's just a dotted line. Down to the first corner then, Netsky, I think he thought about it, the little swerve to the inside, but he just thinks better of it. It was quite far back. Evening, Anthony. Hope you're well. Vapor King then still trying to keep Netsky behind him. It's going to be a very tough battle, but they did have a very good fight in the US a number of weeks ago now. Eklund's lead still at 1.5 seconds. It was at 2 seconds briefly, but that gap now starting to come down. Kazakh's just about gapping Vapor Shea as well. Vapor King still has the very fast championship leader right on his tail. Goes a little bit deeper into turn 13, try and get a bit of a cutback. Onto 14 is actually narrower, so he'll be tight to the wall. So fire out of that final corner. Down the pit straight. Timmy into the pit lane. And once again the order stays as it is. Lock up from Netsky, however, doesn't think he's going to lose a position there. He's just about kept that. That would have been very tight between himself and the Renault. Not sure the reason for Timmy pitting. I would assume front wing damage. But that's all I can do with an assumption. What we witnessed there was a very rare Netsky mistake into the fast corner. I think got a bit too close to the Ferrari under braking, so I had to back out of it. Kazak's now finding his groove too, catching a little bit up as the Ferrari gets a tank slapper through turn 9. That is an easy position there for Netsky, who moves up into P4. Kazak's now within the DRS of the race leader. Could get very tasty now with just 6 laps left to go. Vapor King now left with Netsky to try and defend from. However, he's going to have an easy pit straight this time around. Vapor King and Vapor Trench now almost side by side down the pit straight. King gives him the Schumacher squeeze, if you remember back to 2011 I think it was. Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello getting very close into that pit wall. So they also get very tight here, going through turn 2. With side by side through turn 3, the Renault just forced to back out. You can hold a bit more speed around the outside there. Netsky, however, half a second now. See Vapor Shea has found a second in the first sector by the looks of things. As the Williams gets a little bit sideways there. Netsky could well see himself double podium here, as Romsey's made a mistake. He's into the wall. What's happened to the Alpha? Just spun it. I think no front wing damage, just lost the back where we saw so many cars losing it last night. Back up then to the final podium battle now. Kazakhs may have a look on the pit straight, so I should cut to that one. Got a feeling Romsey's tyres are a bit overheated. I think he spun again coming through turn 11. Nothing between the top 4 this time around. Vapor Trench, however, getting past King into DRS. Back on the racing line as well before the braking zone. Rainman under a lot of pressure now from Trainman and Jay Prentice as Trixie joins that little fight. Very tight there between the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari for turn 2. I think Trainman was very briefly ahead as he tried it around the outside. Good to see some nice, clean, hard battles tonight. Rainman still tries to hold off the pack behind him as they come now into the final sector. Not much battery, however, for the AlphaTauri or the Ferrari. Jay Prentice has a bit more to use. Trixie kind of in the middle between the 4 of them. Back up to the front very quickly. Kazakhs has now lost DRS to Ekeland. However, Netsky is right up behind the Williams, the Vapor Shea coming down the pit straight. No battery to deploy for the Williams. However, Netsky will try it all the way around the outside of turn 1. They get very close indeed. I think they've both gotten through there. They have as well. Netsky has the position. Shea tries it up the inside. Very close, but that position now does belong to Netsky. Back up onto the podium as the Vapor Trio now closing up on the track. Shea ahead of Trench, and then King just a little bit behind them. As they come filing through this middle sector chicane. Trainman's got him past Rainman. Again, more than likely in the first sector. as Jay Prentice now moves on to be the aggressor. However, has to do a little bit of defending from Trixie behind. So yeah, all these battles are within the top 10, to which they all get points tonight. It's hard to see unless we see a mistake on the final 3 laps. Sadly, I don't think there'll be any points for Ramsey or Timmy, despite their best efforts. After both being forced to make additional pit stops, Jay Prentice dives up the inside of Rainman into the first corner. He's a little bit deep. Rainman switches back and does in fact take that position behind there. Trixie just lurking pretty much. Jay Prentice tries to hold off Rainman, not quite being able to there. To run up into turn 4 there. Don't want to touch that curve, that's very dangerous indeed. A little bit of a tap into the chicane, that is very hard to watch. Jay Prentice just giving Rayman a little bit of a love tap. Although I think it upset his car more. Got a slight bit of oversteer. Head back up towards the front then. Netsky as he pursues down on that top 2 as 2 laps to catch. Yeah, almost 3 seconds if he wants the race win here. Kazakhs as well is going to be fighting Eklund for the win. See if he can close up that half a second gap he just seems to be missing at the moment. I believe further down, Jay Prentice is still very close with Trixie and Rainman as they come down into turn 2. I think Timmy and Ramsey there going side by side. Maybe very briefly down towards the first corner, Timmy would have caught with DRS. Does Ramsey still have a front wing? He does. Timmy's caught up to him fairly quickly then by the looks of things. Jay Prentice still being forced to defend from trucks. He hasn't had a run at Rainman just yet. So they come down through turn 12. He is still within the DRS, that will help him defend as they run down to turn 1. Leaders are on the final lap and there could be a bit of a battle here. Gap 3 tenths, 2.5 tenths as he hit the apex for the first corner. Very close indeed. Netsky not quite having the pace to challenge these two. Maybe rubbing his hands together if these two go on for a full-on battle for the win, holding each other up. Vapor Shea and Vapor Trench side by side through turn 2 as well. Now run up over the crest. I think there might have been a little bit of contact between Jay Prentice, Trixie and Rainman. We're down to today. Jay Prentice is now ahead, running out of fuel and has no battery in that racing point. Rainman was 8th, Trixie was always 10th in this little battle here. But I saw possibly a spin, or at least a lock-up. They ran wide into turn 1, as the Renault was causing yellow flags. Go back up to the lead battle then. Netsky has caught them, but it's not enough. Eklund with one more corner to tackle. Doesn't make any mistakes there, nice and smooth. Crosses the line and does keep the win. Netsky jumps up into P2. Kazakhs P3. But a very dominant drive there from Eklund, led every lap. Of course, with 2 safety cars, may have helped him a little bit, but he may have had it under control the entire time. Kazakh looked very racy tonight, but it looks like he had a penalty which dropped him a little bit back. The 3 Vapors as well getting points there in 4th, 5th and 6th. Jay Prentice getting P7, so double points for him this week. Reaching out for Ramsey to cross the line, down a very lonely 12th. Netski driver of the day once again, last up to P2. Of course, finished third on the track. Very interesting race indeed, overall. I did think after that restart from Eklund, look off the second one, 2 safety cars. Did think he was just going to completely pull away there. Didn't quite seem to be able to. As we move over now to the final classifications of the race, at least provisional, still stewards' findings to go through. But Eklund does take the win ahead of Netski. The two Swedes once again showing their class. Kazakhs comes home in P2 on the line, but gets P3 after penalties. Vapor Trench looks like he missed out by just over a second and a half there, getting on the podium in his Renault. Vapor Shea then comes home in 5th ahead of Vapor King. Jay Prentice in 7th ahead of Rainman, Oggy Trainman, and Trixie getting the final point there down in P10. Wasn't the best of races by the looks of things for Timmy or Ramsey, who finished quite a bit off of the points as well. You can see 12 seconds there, at least for Timmy. And of course the two retirements, Hindle and James, both of them being unlucky, being tagged, I think the lightest of contacts of both of them, putting them both into the walls. But that will be it for tonight, at least for the F1 tier. Do join us in about half an hour when the F2 guys take to the track, of course for their feature race. Of course, I also would assume this will be put on the main CSGB channel over the next coming days, so do look out for that. In case you want to re-watch it, of course it will forever be here. That'll be it then, hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like as well, or just wait till it's on the main channel if you don't want to give my personal channel a like. Completely understandable. But that'll be it for tonight, hope you have enjoyed. And until either next week or in half an hour, we'll see you then. Goodbye.